Hello, football fans, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Charlie, and today we're previewing one of the big matchups of the weekend as it's Manchester City against Brentford at the Etihad Stadium. We've got a load to cover, including team news, injury updates, current form to recent history between these two sides, and how this clash could shape up. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And don't forget to follow me on social media for more football content. Stick around for my score prediction at the end. Let's get into it. We will start with the recent form then. Manchester City come into this game with a perfect record in our last 6 Premier League matches. The Citizens have been unstoppable so far this season against Chelsea, Ipswich Town and West Ham United. Brentford, on the other hand, have had a mixed set of results recently. In their last 6 Premier League games, they've managed 3 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. This record reflects a team capable of strong performances, but also prone to inconsistency. Brentford have now won 3 of their 4 matches in all competitions this season and sit 6th in the Premier League with 6 points and 1 more than they had at this stage last season. Both Mbeumo and Visser were also on target in Brentford's opening weekend win against Crystal Palace. However, Brentford have struggled on the road as they have lost more away matches with 13 than any other Premier League team since the start of last season. They've also faced difficulties against top-tier opponents as they've lost each of their last 5 away games against teams that finished in the top 4 the previous season. Historically, Brentford haven't fared well at Manchester City as they've won only 2 of their last 9 visits in all competitions. The odds are heavily stacked against them for this challenging away fixture, but Thomas Frank's side have demonstrated resilience in the past. In our most recent outing, Manchester City secured a convincing 3-1 win away at West Ham United on August the 31st. Erling Haaland was once again the star of the show as he scored a hat-trick. He opened the scoring in the 10th minute and added another in the 30th and completed his hat-trick with a third goal in the 83rd minute. Despite a Ruben Dias own goal for West Ham, City's dominance ensured a comfortable win. Kevin De Bruyne and Manuel Akanji were booked in the match, but their contributions were overshadowed by Haaland's brilliant performance. Brentford also enjoyed a 3-1 win in their last match as they defeated Southampton at home. Bryan Mbeumo was the standout performer as he scored twice while Johan Visser added the third. Southampton managed a late consolation goal, but Brentford's control over the game was evident. Mbeumo and even Pinnock received yellow cards, and this reflected some disciplinary issues, but not enough to disrupt their overall performance. So we move to the head-to-head then. Historically, Manchester City have had the upper hand with 11 wins compared to Brentford's 7, with only 1 draw in their 19 meetings across all competitions. One of our earliest encounters dates back 92 years when City secured a resounding 6-1 win over Brentford in the FA Cup, with Fred Tilson scoring a hat-trick. In recent history, Brentford made headlines with a surprising 2-1 win at the Etihad Stadium in November 2022, thanks to a dramatic stoppage time goal by Ivan Toney. Since then, Manchester City have regained our dominance as we've won our last 2 encounters. In February 2024, City triumphed 3-1 with a hat-trick from Phil Foden, and just 15 days later we followed up with a narrow 1-0 win where Erling Haaland scored the only goal of the match. So we will move to the key players then for each team. For Manchester City, Erling Haaland's a standout name. His recent form's been sensational, and that's exemplified by his hat-trick against West Ham. Haaland's ability to find the back of the net consistently makes him a constant threat for any defence, and Brentford will need to be exceptionally organised to keep him under control. On the Brentford side, Bryan Mbeumo's the player to keep an eye on. After his impressive 2-goal performance against Southampton, he's clearly in fine form. Alongside Johan Visser, who also brings creativity and finishing prowess, Mbeumo has the potential to pose significant challenges to City's defence, particularly on the counter-attack. Both Haaland and Mbeumo will play pivotal roles in their teams, and that makes them key figures in this exciting contest. So the Manchester City team news then. Erling Haaland's a major talking point ahead of this weekend's match. Due to the recent passing of his close family friend, Etihad Stadium, Haaland has been granted compassionate leave and may miss Saturday's game. Haaland has shared an emotional tribute to Stadium on social media. While he has been present in training this week, Pep Guardiola has confirmed that family matters take precedence, and Haaland's participation will ultimately depend on his emotional state. If he's unable to play, City might deploy a false nine, with Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva potentially stepping into that role. Before this uncertainty, Haaland's form has been nothing short of exceptional. He won the Premier League Player of the Month for August and has scored 7 goals in just 3 matches, including back-to-back hat-tricks against Ipswich and West Ham. His impressive run continued on international duty with Norway, where he scored in their 2-1 win over Austria in the Nations League. Haaland's record against Brentford has also been notable, as he's faced them 3 times, won 2 of those matches and lost once. Last season, he scored the only goal in a 1-0 win against Brentford at the Etihad. If Haaland maintains his current scoring rate, he could surpass his own Premier League single-season record of 36 goals, which was set during the 22-23 season. With an average of 2.3 goals per game this season, he's on pace for an astonishing 89 goals if this form continues throughout the year. Nathan Ake is another key absentee. The defender sustained a muscle injury while on international duty with the Netherlands and will be out until after the next international break. This injury is a significant blow as it leaves Manchester City short in defence and will put extra pressure on Josko Vardiol. City's young attacker Oscar Bob remains out long term with a broken leg and won't be back until December at the earliest. Phil Foden is back in training after missing recent matches due to a stomach bug and is expected to be fit for the game. And Savinho, who missed the West Ham match with a knee issue, is also back in training and should be available for selection. Rodri is not featured in the Premier League this season and returned to action with Spain during the international break and could make his first domestic appearance of the season against Brentford. Brentford face a challenging situation with several key players sidelined for their upcoming match. Manager Thomas Frank will be without Igor Thiago, Josh Da Silva, Aaron Hickey, Rico Henry, new signing Gustavo Nunes and Matthias Jensen. Despite these absences, there's a positive development as Christopher Raya, who recently recovered from an ankle injury sustained in their 3-1 win over Southampton, is fit to return. I is expected to feature in a 3-man defence alongside Ethan Pinnock and Nathan Collins. Brentford's formation for the match is anticipated to be a 5-3-2. This defensively solid formation will see Keane Lewis Potter and Mads Roerslev operate as wing-backs to provide support and width. In midfield, Mikkel Damsgaard, Christian Norgard and Josh Da Silva will anchor the team's efforts to control the game and provide balance. Up front, the attacking partnership of Bryan Mbeumo and Johan Visser, who have been instrumental in Brentford's league campaign by scoring all 5 of the team's league goals so far, will be crucial. They will look to exploit any gaps left by Manchester City's advancing fullbacks and create opportunities to challenge City's defence. With a focus on defensive solidity and exploiting counter-attacking opportunities, Brentford will be aiming to make the most of their attacking duo while dealing with the absence of several key players. Manchester City will be looking to maintain our perfect start to the 24-25 Premier League campaign as we welcome Brentford to the Etihad Stadium on Saturday afternoon. The two sides last met in February, where City secured a narrow 1-0 win thanks to a second-half goal from Erling Haaland. Going into the international break, City sat at the top of the Premier League table, having won all three of our opening fixtures. We kicked off the season with a 2-0 win over Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, followed by emphatic 4-1 and 3-1 wins against Ipswich Town and West Ham United, respectively. Haaland was at the heart of City's attack as he netted 7 goals in those 3 matches, including back-to-back hat-tricks to ensure the citizens ended August with a 100% record. Pep Guardiola's men have now set a Premier League record by winning our last 12 top-flight games by 2 or more goals. We're aiming to win our first 4 fixtures of a new season for the 9th time, which would see us extend our own record further. City will be confident heading into this weekend, especially considering our formidable record at the Etihad Stadium. We're unbeaten in 45 home matches across all competitions with 38 wins and 7 draws. We've scored 133 goals and conceded 32. However, the last team to defeat City at home in 90 minutes was Brentford, who shocked the champions with a 2-1 win in November 2022, thanks to a brace from the now departed Ivan Toney. Alright, it's time for my score prediction. I'm expecting Manchester City to edge this one 2-1. Even if Haaland's absent, City's firepower and depth should see us through, but Brentford's strong start to the season and their resilience, especially in their defensive shape, will make this a competitive match. That's all for today's preview. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and drop your predictions in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter at MCFCHibs for all the latest updates, and subscribe to my F1 channel, Hit the Apex. And as always, keep enjoying the beautiful game. Cheers, everyone.